Welcome to yoga. This is a class on our hands because we use our hands a lot in yoga. Plank, chaturanga, down dog, seal, sphinx, crow, headstand, handstand. Lots and lots of ways in which we are putting weight on our hands, but we don't really talk about how to use our hands, how to spread out our weight, how to avoid injuring our wrist as much as we should. Especially because in our everyday lives, we are abusing our hands. Gaming, texting, keyboarding, writing, if people still do that. Just lots of ways in which we habitually overuse and stress our hands and wrist. So this is going to be on helping our hands, doing some hand exercises that you can do at your desk every day, just to take a little break and exercise and stretch your hands to get some strength in them. Strength in grip is a predictor of longevity. And I'll also show some ways to modify. For one thing, you can just flip your mat over so that you've got 3 layers now and more cushion. You could use a blanket or a towel down. If you're having a lot of problems with vinyasa, which is the sequence with plank, down dog, plank, cobra, you can use a wall for those. Just come a little bit away from the wall, have your hands on your shoulders, come forward, bring your weight forward in one line. So now you're in plank, but you don't have to use gravity. You can bring your pelvis close and arch your back for cobra. You can bring your hands down, bring your feet back to make a big V. And now you're in downward dog. So if you have problems with your wrist or you can't do a lot of vinyasas, you can always do them at the wall. But for now, we're going to get started with a meditation to check in with our hands, to feel grounded and mindful of them. So just coming into whatever is a comfortable seat. If you have a bolster or a blanket to sit up on, you can do that. And dropping your hands to your legs. Just close your eyes. Feel the cloth of your pants or the skin of your legs. Feel the warmth of your legs. The smoothness, maybe the roughness, the bumps of your knees. And just sitting up straight. Picture yourself walking out in the country, down a long stretch, under the green trees, through the grass. Maybe as you walk, you sit down in the grass. You can reach down and feel the grass, feel the blades of grass going between your fingers. If it's early morning, maybe there's dew on the grass and you shake that off. Just feeling the grass. Feel the ground beneath you. It's firm, cool, solid. And yet it's also porous. As you look out, you can see clover, maybe some violets or other wildflowers, and you use your pincer grasp to pick the flowers, to pick the clover. Gathering up the clover or the other small flowers. Maybe you want to make a daisy chain out of them, making knots in the stem, bringing them together, making a headdress or necklace. You lift the flowers up, you smell them, you feel their textures. And you get up, maybe wearing your flowers, maybe letting them drop through your fingers as you go on. You continue walking until you find a little grove of fir trees. You stand under the fir trees, you feel their rough texture. Maybe you touch the sap and smell the rosin, feel it sticky on your fingers. You can reach up, feel the needles on the tree. Grab a pine cone, you hold it in your hand, feel the texture. Is it open or closed? Perhaps you pick up some leaves some needles that have fallen to the ground. Pick them up, let them float down from your fingers back to the earth. And after investigating the pine trees, you can continue walking. And you come to an orchard. There's all sorts of fruit trees, cherries with their long stems hanging down, apples, hard, round, peaches or apricots, fuzzy, ripe, juicy, dewy. Go ahead and pick some of the cherries. Feel the hard apples. Feel the skin of the ripe peaches. Pick your fruit, and you hear a brook nearby, the water gently flowing down through a stream. You take your fruit over to this stream. You sit down by it, pick up a stone or two. Maybe the stones are warm from being in the sun. Feel them in your hand, clasp them, and then throw them back into the stream. This would be a good place to eat your fruit. As you do, you feel the juices run down into your hands, down your arms. So you put your hand in the water to wash it off. You run your fingers through the water. Perhaps you feel the moss underground on the rocks, under the water. What temperature is the water? Is it cool? Is it going quickly? Reach down and cup the water in your hands. Take a drink. And just splash the extra water off your hands. Watching the drops go off your fingertips. Wiping your hands in the grass or on your leg. Then come up and just continue walking home. And now we'll do some hand exercises to tap into using our hands and to strengthen them. So shoulders on your back, shoulder blades on your back, just extending the arms. You're not reaching out with them, you're just extending the natural length. It feels as if you're pushing against the wall with the palms of your hands, engaging, spreading your fingers, engaging your whole hand. Now point your fingers up and down. You can even alternate up and down. Make fist and go up and down. Feeling the wrist stretch. Open your fingers wide, extending up above. Clasping them into Anjali Mudra. Come down, pressing your palms together. Letting your hands come down. Come up, back to back. Come out. Open up. down into Anjali Mudra, pressing together, point down, bring the backs of the hands up, point out, come up, opening up, bring your hands together and down, pushing them in, letting them point down, bring the backs of the hands up and out. Clasp your hands and make figure eights with your wrist. Note which direction your hands are going in and see if you can do the other direction. Catch flies using each finger to try to catch the fly. Now flick each finger. Open and close. How hard you go, how fast you go is up to you. You can start down at shoulder height. If you want more of a whole arm workout, you can bring your arms overhead, just opening and closing. At any point, if you want to bring your hands down, if you had them up, you can do that. If you want to pick up the tempo or slow down, and come to stillness and fan your fingers out. Making a little circle, leading with the pinkies, and go the other way, leading with the thumb. So maybe a little bit more awkward. Press your hands out, again as if you're pressing into a wall, and you can alternate your wrist. Nod your fist. If you want to turn your hands over and nod them in, up towards your biceps. Reaching your hands out, fingers cupped. Pretend that you have light bulbs on each side and you're going to screw and unscrew the light bulbs. And bring your hands in, clasp them together, press your knuckles out, turn it the other way, press the palms and knuckles out. Overhead, press up, flip your hands, press up. We'll do that again, pressing forward, pressing out, pressing up, flip your hands, press up, and one more time, press and flip and press up with your knuckles, press up with your palms, and shake your hands out. And so you can do these exercises just at your desk whenever. Point your fingers down. Gently draw your pinky back. You're pointing your palm forward. Your ring finger back. You don't want any pain. The middle finger back, just a gentle stretch. The index finger back. The thumb back. Now just press all of the fingers back. Turn your hand over so the back of the palm is pointing out, fingers down, and just a gentle stretch. And then the other hand, fingers pointing down, pinky, Stretching the ring finger, stretching the middle finger, stretching the index finger down and back, the thumb, all of the fingers. Flip your hand, pressing the back of your hand across the knuckles. And then just let your hands go. Feel the mat, feel the floor. And we'll come over into tabletop. And if you want to double your mat here, you can. So often when we come into tabletop, and I'll turn for this, we put all the weight right here. I'm not even using my fingers. This time I want you to engage your fingertips, grip the mat, use your knuckles, have an L shaped between your index and thumb, and feel as if the palm of your hand is a big sponge and you're sucking up, using like suction cups, like in place. So now you've spread the weight into your whole hand instead of just under the wrist. Now, instead of dumping the weight down, engage your abs, engage up the core, open up through your shoulders, taking some of the weight off of the hands. And from here we can do cat-cow. You can use your fingertips to help you come forward. Whole hand, palm of hand to help you lift into cat. And just at your own speed. And come to stillness. Reach your left leg. Reach your right arm as if you're trying to get someone's attention. Really using your fingers, your hand, stretching, and come back. Do the other side, right leg, left hand, as if you're trying to get someone's attention. And come back. And again, right hand coming out as if you're reaching for something on a low shelf. And bringing it back down. Another side, reaching for something on that, back on that low shelf and coming down. This time we'll reach forward, extending the opposite leg. So reach forward, then we come back. We grab our foot and push your foot into your hand and use your hand to push against your foot, getting a feeling of opposition. And coming down, other side, reaching forward, extending your foot back, come back and grab that foot. Feel the foot pressing into your hand and use your hand to keep it from going out. And come back into child's pose. And you can walk your fingertips farther to get more of a stretch in the arms, the upper arms, the armpit, into the shoulder blades. You can let your arms go. You can turn the palms up even. Just let them go. You can make a little triangle under your forehead and rest on your hands. Or finally, you can bring your hands back at your ankles, backs of your hands down, And just drum your hands on the ground. The backs of your hands, let your fingers go and just flop. And come into stillness. And scraping your hands on the mat forward, coming back to tabletop, finding that feeling of hands, fingers wide, gripping, sectioning up, engaging the core. Tuck your toes and come back to downward dog. Again, I'm using my whole hand, not just the wrist crease. Lifting my abs, lifting my hips to take weight off of the hands. Coming forward, shoulders over hands. Again, gripping, tightening my core, opening through the shoulder blades, and then drop your knees and come down. So coming into Cobra 3 ways. Let's start with Sphinx first. So elbows right under the shoulders, hands spread, all 10 fingers down, slightly pulling back to draw your chest through. Excuse me. Dragging your hands back under your shoulders. Let's come up first with no hands. Just lift your hands up. This is a good way to check in Cobra and make sure that you're using your lower back muscles instead of just pushing your way through. And come down. Can come up with cactus arms. And come down. And zipping up your legs, your hands under your shoulders, pressing up. Again, use the whole of your hand to come up into Cobra. Shoulders open and coming down. And then finally make spider fingers up on your fingertips, elbows at 90 degrees. Inhale and come up into uplifted Cobra. Spider fingers can give you more opening in your shoulders. And coming down. Pushing back to Child's Pose, wave variation. Tucking your toes, coming back up to Downward Dog. And to push down with the knuckles, the knuckle pads. Inhaling, coming forward, all the way down, whatever variation of Cobra you would like. Pushing back, Child's Pose. Tuck your toes up to Down Dog. Forward plank, all the way down. You can use your knees if you want. Whatever variation of Cobra. Coming back, one more Child's Pose. Maybe feel as if you're going to pull the mat forward or back with your hands. Firming them, tucking your toes, Down Dog. Plank, or Chaturanga. And Cobra. Coming back to Child's Pose. Maybe just go side to side on your arms across your forehead. Coming up into a low lunge by stepping your right foot forward. You can clasp your fingers and put them on your front thigh. Opening up, letting this left thigh open up. Swinging your arms open, feeling as if you're holding a big ball, your big fit ball, squeezing it. Bring your hands back, clasp your fingers, come forward into a humble warrior. Bring your left hand down. We'll take a twist. Come back up. This time make spider fingers with your hands and see if you can get a deeper twist across your shoulders. Hands down. Step forward into Uttanasana. Just let your hands go. You can grab your elbows. Feel as if you're pulling your elbows apart and pushing into your hands at the same time. And then let them go. Raise your toes and put your hands underneath. You can give your wrists a little massage with your toes. Bring one hand out, the other, bend your knees, come all the way up. Opening up into Urdhva Hastasana. Bringing your hands together, steeple your fingers, your index and thumbs, pointing forward. And then we'll go side to side. Now, clasp your thumbs, thumb pad to thumb pad, extending your fingers, and we'll go back to side to side. And this time, grab your left wrist with your right hand and just gently guide it over as if this is a big hose and you're watering, the water is all falling down through your fingers. So and coming up, grab the right hand with the left wrist, bring it over, have that feeling of the water hose or a fountain. All the water is flowing through your fingers. Opening up, swan diving down. You can walk our fingers out, back to downward dog. Coming forward for a little vinyasa. Up to cobra. Back to child's pose. Step your left foot forward into a low lunge. You can interlace your fingers on that front thigh. Get a little help forward, find your stability. Feel this front of the right hip open up, right thigh. Swing your hands up. Hold that big ball, feel the pressure in your fingertips, and then bring those arms back, clasp your hind rear back, and come forward. Again, bring your fingertips down, bring your back toes up, step up, all the way over, halfway up, all the way back over, and just swing your hands on the mat, bending your knees, letting your hips go up and down. Then each time you rock, come a little bit further, and a little bit further up, and a little bit further up, until you're in chair. Coming all the way up, step back out into warrior two. So heel to arch alignment, bending this front knee rather. Extend your fingers out. Pull your pinkies back. Now you can do that light bulb twist. You can nod your fist, maybe circle them in the other direction. And since we're warriors, we're going to notch an arrow, pull on the bow, pull back, and let go, pointing to where the arrow flies to. One more time. Pull, feel your hands gripping, and feel the letting go in your hands, and down. Straightening that leg, clasp your hands behind your back, come back with your knee bent, your hips are pointing forward, so we're just doing warrior two but with our hands clasped. You can stay here, or you can come to the inside of this bent knee. Bringing your hands up. Drop your hand down to your thigh and push yourself all the way up. Knees extended, hands extended. Coming into triangle. Hands are pointing up and down. You can wiggle the clouds, tickle the clouds. Bend your knee. Coming down your elbow for side angle. Find the tip of your ear. Bring your arm over that tip. Feeling a long stretch in your arm. And then just let your arm go in big circles. Maybe the other way. Come up to the very top. Tickle the clouds again. Let's paint a rainbow across the sky. And dropping that hand down, we're back in a runner's lunge. We can take another twist, and we can bring this hand under our thigh, give our thigh a little hug. Bring our fingers down, come all the way forward into forward fold. Swing your arms again, just let them go. And come higher and higher and higher until you're into chair. Bending your knees, bending your hip back. So if you're sitting on a chair, coming all the way up, just let your hands go, side to side, hitting your back gently. Feel as if your hands are really heavy, they have sand in them. And step back to warrior two on the other side. Feet aligned, hips forward, knee bent. You can just see that top of your toe. Bring your hands out. We can go fingers up, fingers down. If you want to take the bind and come over that front On the inside of that front knee, you can try that. Coming up, grabbing your bow, pulling the string back, release, let it go. One more time, come up, grab your bow, notch your arrow, feel the pull and the release. Coming back to warrior two, up to triangle. Okay, you can gently wave or twist this top wrist. Bend your front knee again for side angle. Find your ear, extend over. Let your arm drop for big circles. Other way. And then just paint a rainbow across the sky. Bring your hand down, taking a twist. Maybe tickle the clouds. Bring that hand under your thigh, give it a hug. Bring your hands down, stepping back to downward dog. Lifting your lower abdomen, lifting your hips. Feeling your whole hand coming forward into plank. You can drop your knees, come down to cobra. Back through child's pose. Waving forward. Back into down dog. Waving forward onto your hands. Coming down plank to cobra. Pushing back to child's pose. Tucking your toes up one last time to down dog. Stepping forward, coming halfway up, all the way down, all the way up. Swing back so people can see me. Let's clasp our hands behind our backs and bending your knees, fold over. See if gently lifting your shoulders up can get you a little more space. Dropping your hands down, we'll come all the way up. Bring your hands into Anjali Mudra, pushing your palms together. Engage your core. Find a drishti, a focus point, and it's coming over to your left side. As you're pushing your hands in, you can push your foot into your calf for tree. And coming down, open up, bring your palms down, find a steady push into your hands, your whole hand, and then bringing your weight over to the right, bringing that left foot in, pushing the foot and pushing the hands together, and coming down. Let's raise up and steeple our hands, our fingers, pointing up a tall fir tree, and then coming back into tree. See if it's like pull on your hands can help you be stable. Then we'll open our hands, set our foot down, other side, clasping into steeple, bringing your foot up. Seeing if trying to pull those fingers apart will help you be stable while you push your foot into your other leg. and come down. Tree, and this time open up to any kind of tree. Maybe you're a blooming tree with beautiful magnolias. Maybe you're a blowing tree. The leaves are blowing in the wind. And coming down. One last time. Opening up into whatever kind of tree you would like to be. And coming down. Opening up, swan diving down. To walk out with our fingertips into down dog. Forward into our plank, all the way down. Up into cobra. Back with our toes bent under into child's pose. Back to down dog. And this time you can walk or hop to get up to the top of the mat, hanging down. Come halfway up, bring your hands behind you in a clasp, come back over. Coming back up into chair and stepping out wide. Let's come into goddess, so we're in a wide squat. Feet are going up 45 degrees. And we'll start with our hands on our thighs, feeling a grip, and then just shoulder to shoulder. Dipping, opening those shoulders. And coming up. We can be a fierce goddess, making claw hands as we come down. Maybe even taking this into a lion's breath, where we extend our tongue. Coming up into star with our fingers extended. We can come down to fist. Star down to fist. And coming back, turning our toes forward. Hands on hips. We can bend over, bring our hands down. Move where I have more room. So I can just let my head drop down. Hands just supporting me. Come halfway up on my fingertips. Come all the way down. Inhale up on fingertips, abs come in. I can walk forward into a wide-legged downward dog. I'll walk my hands in. I'll turn my fingers and walk out the opposite side of the mat, bringing my head further down perhaps. I can bring my left hand in the middle. I can be hand flat or on fingertips and come into a fan, opening up with the right hand, right arm, and we'll switch. And let's do 3 of these, 3 on each side. Now walking your hands over to your right leg. You can bend that right leg for a stretch. Walk over to the left. You can take this as far down as you want. Just going side to side, walking your hands over, side to side. Coming into the middle, let's come into our flat back, engaged abs, fingertips down. We'll walk over to the extended right leg, bring our head down. Swing over to the other leg, grasping the shin, the ankles to bring our head down. And other side. And just other side. One more each side. And just coming into the middle, bending your knees, hands on your thighs, coming up. We'll step up to the top of the mat, opening our hands, opening them wide, stepping our feet out towards the edges of our mat, just letting our hands come down over our thighs into Malasana, a squat. You can have your hands down here and just use them to explore a little movement, a little side to side. Just wherever your hands want to go as you go from hip to hip, foot to foot. Let's come back to tabletop. And we'll take a break, just making handprints on our mat, going any which way, feeling the mat, feeling the ground, hand fingers back, fingers forward, fingers out to the sides. See if you're just making fingerprints, handprints all over your mat. Coming into stillness, bring your left hand, fingers pointing back, and be as gentle as you want here. You can just come on fingertips, or to knuckle pads, or bringing your wrists down to stretch out. And breathe. And we'll turn that hand over, and again you can just do fingertips, maybe knuckle pads, maybe coming down the back of the hand. And then we'll do the other hand, so pointing the right fingers back, just gently bringing the wrist towards the ground, no pain, just a stretch. You can breathe into it. And the back of the hand, fingers, knuckles, however far is comfortable for you to go. Both hands down. Let's just flip, flip, like we're flipping pancakes. Then bring your wrist out towards the edge of your mat, fingers pointing in. Again, you're right under your shoulders, so you can just maybe rock here. Turn them the other way, so fingers are pointing out, away from your mat, and just a little gentle rock. Bring your knees in, coming up to sit on your knees in Virasana. You can also sit in easy pose, cross-legged if you want. And I'm going to start with my fingers pointing back, but if that's not comfortable, you can use a fist or spider fingers, and we're just going to arch over, come up, point the other fingers to the back, come over, and you can just keep going side to side. And one more on the left, coming up, clasp your fingers, push them forward, turn knuckles out, push them forward, up, palms up, knuckles up, bring your arms down, hold your elbows, push, pull, pulling the elbows in while pushing out, and drop your arms, let them go. If you want to take another clasp and come forward, however far is comfortable. And as you come up, bringing your feet out, holding that big ball again, feeling the ball in your hands, feeling the pressure, bring it forward. And just let your hands drop wherever they go. Let your hands slide up your legs. Picking up your left knee, your hands under your thigh, bring it over across the right for a twist. And this is another place where people dump back onto their wrist. One thing, it hurts your wrist, and you can't twist in this position because your arm's in the way. So let's sit up tall, arc your finger over, come down, to spider fingers, and from here, see how far you can twist, how much further. Just using the finger pads for a little leverage. And come forward. You can bring that leg in, the other foot, heel of your foot to your butt, sitting up straight again, arc that arm over, come onto fingertips, send your eyes that direction, and take a twist. Engage your core, and leaving your knees where they are, so knees are stacked. You can hold on to each foot or ankle and come forward. And coming out, extend your legs again, maybe give them a shake. Hold that big ball. Throw it off to someone and just let your hands drop wherever they go. Let your head go, let your shoulders go. And rolling your hands up your legs. Pull your right leg up and over. Arc the little finger side back. Be up on your fingertips and take a twist. This allows you to have a nice open, elevated back. You're twisting from the thoracic area. And you can bring that foot in. Arc your arm back again. Engage your abs. Sit straight up. Hand behind you, just on the fingertips, and twist. Leaving your knees where they are. You can hold on to your ankles or feet and just bend over. Coming up, putting your feet on the floor. You can have your hands behind you, fingers pointing towards your bottom. You can take a few tricep dips. Just lowering your elbows, your back is a straight line. You want to plant your feet and push up for a reverse table. And come down. You come all the way down onto your back. Bring your knees in. Extend your feet to the ceiling, wherever you can grasp for happy baby. And drop your feet down. Raise your right leg. Clasp your hands behind your right thigh. You can extend the left leg. And just use your hands to gently pull your leg in. Use your thigh to push against that hand, creating more resistance. Relax everything. And then just stretch your heel up. So again, press hand into thigh, thigh into hand. Relax. Extend your heel up. And one last time, let everything go first. Then push your thigh into your hands in against your thigh. Relax everything. See if you can stretch a little bit further by bringing your heel towards the ceiling. And just let go, let that leg drop down. You can bring your feet up. And let your knees just go side to side. Bring the left leg up, clasp behind it, behind the thigh. Extend the other leg if you want. Now push that left thigh into the hands, pull the hands into the thigh, and then just relax everything. See if you can raise your heel a little bit more. And let go. Push your thigh into your hands, pull with your hands. Oh, let everything go. Raise your foot to the ceiling. If you want to stretch, let everything go. And again, last time, pull and push with your thigh. Relax. Push your heel up a little bit. See if you can get more of a stretch. And then just let go with your fingers. Drop your legs down. You can bring your feet as wide as your mat and just let them go side to side. Send your feet out. Make a fist, let it go. Raise your arms, let them go. If you turn them over, let them go. Let everything go and come into final rest. your feet back in. Come over on your right side. Use your hands to make a little pillow for your head. Use your hands to push yourself up into easy pose. Hands facing up, your fingers relaxed. We'll just end with a little breath using all of our fingers, and we will touch. As we inhale, we will silently, as we touch thumb to little finger, say Sat. Touch the next finger, Ta. Inhale, touch the next finger, Na. Touch the index finger, Ma. So you're silently saying Sa, Ta, Na, Ma. Sa, Ta, Na, Ma. This is the sequence of this indicating birth, youth, adulthood, old age, the cycle of life. So we'll just sniff in 4 times. Sat, Ta, Na, Ma. Long exhale. Sat, Ta, Na, Ma. Long exhale. One more. Sat, Ta, Nam. Long exhale. Bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra. Thank you for coming to class. And I hope that helps with wrist strength, hand strength, and flexibility.